Hi friends, Aitherea here. Today I'm going to share with you what I think are the best ways to farm the current Moogle Tombstone event, which is the second hunt for Genesis. This will include a variety of different methods to hopefully suit different playstyles. I'll go over which methods are the fastest, which provide the most value for your time, which are the coziest, and at the end, which method I think is overall the best in terms of both time and value. So let's get started. So I'm going to open up my Mog Pendium. So you want to go to Duty, Collection, and then you can open the Mog Pendium from there. If you do not have this, then go to the itinerant Moogle in any of the city-states, and I think that will unlock it for you. They're pretty close to the Aetherea in any of the city-states, so it shouldn't be too hard to find them. So first of all, you should do your weekly objectives. As you can see, you will get 20 irregular tombstones for doing so, and what I have might be different than what you have, but usually there's something in there that isn't too hard to do, and you can get 20. Similarly, you have these mini-mog challenges, which are once per week, and you get 10 Moogle tombstones for these. As you can see, I have Fates or Triple Triad, which is fighting Booskaron in Triple Triad. So these, again, are also not too hard, and you can do them every week, so you're kind of guaranteed 30 a week. Now, I'm not sure if they changed this from the first event, but in the first hunt, unfortunately, some of these weekly and mini-mog challenges were things that lower level players couldn't access. I checked my alt, and I think her weekly was Castrum, and she's level 50, so that was cool to see. That was promising, but you guys will have to let me know in the comments if they fixed that from last time, where you're actually being given stuff for weeklies that matches your level. Next, of course, we have the Ultimog challenge. This one is a bit more tough. I actually have not done Palace of the Dead. I haven't gotten to level 50 or above, so it doesn't really show the Ultimog challenge, but the Ultimog challenge is getting to floor 100 in Palace of the Dead, which is a deep dungeon. So this one is a bit more tough. I probably won't do it, but I'm told that you can get to floor 100 with a good party in like 1.5 to 2 hours. So you might get something cool out of the sacks that drop here. You have good RNG. There's a cool mount that I think comes from here and some other stuff. It's also good for leveling your jobs, so it's really up to you if you think this one is worthwhile. For me personally, I don't, but if you really like deep dungeons, you want to level other jobs, or you're hoping to get one of the rare items from the sacks, go for it. Okay, so now let's talk about standard objectives, and we're going to start with the things that are quick and easy farms. First of all, Castrum Meridianum with a full Blue Mage party, or you can do a tank and 3 Blue Mages. Either way, with a Blue Mage party, this one is completed pretty quickly. I think most people are able to do this in like roughly 4 minutes. So this is probably one of the fastest ones, and you get 4 tombstones for it. After that, we have the Dead Ends, which you cannot do with Blue Mage because it's level 90, and Blue Mages only go up to level 80, but you can do this without a healer. If you do just a full party of DPS and a tank, if you're scared, use Warrior. They have a really good self-heal and even some AoE heals with Shake It Off over time. So you can do Dead Ends in a pretty quick time, and you'll get 4 Moogle tombstones. I think what's actually probably better than these even would be gates, because you can do a gate in like 5 minutes, and it depends on which gate you do. You can see here that it lists all the rewards, but you're going to get anywhere between 1 and 10 Moogle tombstones as a reward. So gates are going to be really quick, and I'm going to talk about them again in our next section because they're also a great value. So there's that. Okay, so next I want to talk about farming in a way that has a lot of value. It's going to be more value than just the tombstones themselves. These options are also going to be good for low-level players. One of the kind of bad things about this second hunt is that you'll notice the lowest level in here is level 50. So if you're below level 50, there are still options for you, but if you wanted to farm like dungeons, kind of not anything here for you if you're below level 50. So these are going to be now the best value and the best options for low level players. So first of all, PvP. You will notice there are 4 options for PvP. The first 3 here are all front lines. So what you can do is you can actually queue in to your frontline roulette, and you will be rewarded 3 to 5 Moogle tomestones depending on whether you win or lose. So it's 5 if you win, 3 if you lose. But there's a lot of value here because from frontlines you're going to be getting a lot of EXP, so you can level up your jobs this way. And just so you know, you can enter any PvP, whether it is frontline or Hidden Gorge. The only thing this doesn't work for is Crystalline Conflict. But whether it's one of these 3 frontlines or Hidden Gorge, you can enter on a job that you want to level, and once you are inside, you can change to the job that you would rather PvP on. So if you're really good at playing White Mage, or you're really good at playing Summoner, and you want to play that inside, but you have to level your Dragoon, queue in on your Dragoon and then switch to your White Mage or your Summoner once you're inside. That is something that you can do. So back to the value here. You are going to be able to get EXP for your jobs. You're also going to be able to get EXP towards your series Malmstones, and you'll see that there's really cool rewards in here, like an emote, minion. This time there's a really cool gear, like glamour attire. Sometimes there's mounts. So this is totally worth it. You're also going to be getting trophy crystals that you can spend on other things, wolf marks that you can spend on other things. So you're getting a lot of value for doing PvP, especially if you do the Frontlines Roulette. Now, let's say you've already done your Frontlines Roulette and you want to do something fun. Hidden Gorge. Hidden Gorge is so fun. It's the best PvP mode the game has to offer, and it's really sad that it's not part of Frontlines. But any type of PvP that you're doing, you are going to still be getting a small amount of EXP for your jobs, for your series Malmstones. And the other thing is, for both the Frontlines and Hidden Gorge, there are a bunch of achievements. So you can get mounts. You can get mounts. Like, this is a really cool mount. You can get mounts, okay? There's also this Makai thing. You gotta look in the Wolves Den, and you put on your Makai title, and you do Frontlines, and you win some. You have to win like 10, and you get some horsey mounts. So there's that. And then from Hidden Gorge, there's 2 mounts that you get from achievements. Once you do, like, you have to win like 100 of them. So it takes a while, but it is something that you can farm between Moogle Tombstone events. So like, it never goes away, even if there's a new season or series. Like for Hidden Gorge, whatever progress you make towards 100 wins is forever. So you can start progressing it, and like I said, it's the most fun PvP mode. So PvP is super worth it. You can do this at level 30. It unlocks at level 30. So if you are a low level, you can do this. The caveat is that if you're a free trial player, unfortunately, you cannot unlock PvP. You can't do PvP, which is really sad. So the next thing that is a really, really good value and really good for low levels is doing gates, like we talked about before. So as you can see, once again, you get 1 to 10 Moogle tombstones from this. But the cool thing about doing gates is that you're going to get MGP. So that's the currency that you use in the Golden Saucer. And with that, you can buy glam items. You can buy, there's some hairstyles in there. There's emotes. There's orchestrion rolls. There's mounts. There's so much stuff in there that you can get. And the reason that this is going to be a really good value is that you're going to be getting MGP, and starting on the 15th, there's going to be the Make It Rain event, which will increase the MGP payout by 50%. So you can farm, if you're farming anything that costs, because there's like a 2 mil MGP mount, there's a 4 mil MGP mount. If you want to farm MGP, you can farm the gates, and you can get MGP farming them and Moogle tombstones, and then you can use your Moogle tombstones to buy the MGP Platinum cards from the itinerant Moogle, like as one of the rewards you can get with your tombstones, and get 50,000 MGP with that. So it's going to be a really great event. And on top of that, you can use the FC buff called Jackpot, which is 10 to 15% increased payout depending on whether it's Jackpot 2 or 3. Or if your FC isn't doing that every single day, you can also use the Gold Saucer VIP card that you get from Squadron missions as part of your Grand Company if you've unlocked Squadrons. Those you can get, and they will increase the payout by 15%. Unfortunately, they do not stack, so if your FC already has a buff running, it's probably not worth it to use. But gates are just such a fantastic option because, like I said, there's a lot of value there if you're farming for MGP. They're also really, really quick to do. They're like 5 minutes to do, so it's a quick method of farming. The only kind of caveat is that gates happen every 20 minutes starting on the dot. So they happen at 0 o'clock, 20 o'clock, 40 o'clock, and then 0 o'clock again. The Gold Saucer unlocks at level 15, so almost anybody can go in here and do gates, and free trial players are included in that. So if you are just starting out on your free trial and unfortunately you cannot do PvP and you're not level 50, so there's not a whole lot you can do, you can unlock the Golden Saucer and you can come in here and do gates. Next, we're going to move on to some of our more cozy methods, so if you just want to take it easy. First of all, we have ocean fishing. So you're gonna get 5 Moogle tomestones from this if you score 1200 points, which is pretty easy to do. Literally, you can do it upon unlocking your fisher. So it's really not hard. The only thing is that these ocean fishing trips, they actually take quite a long time, like a good 30 minutes. So they're definitely not a good value in terms of the Moogle tomestones themselves. However, if you are interested in leveling your fisher, this can be a great way to kind of do a little bit of both at once. And if you just enjoy fishing or you like doing relaxing things in the game where you can put something on your other screen, this would be something that you would really like. My next cozy method is actually the Praetorium. I kind of have been doing these kinds of videos basically every time the Moogle event comes around, and I have had a lot of comments on videos of people saying that they love doing Praetorium. You get 7 Moogle tomestones, which is not bad, but doing Praetorium is kind of long. It'll take like 20, 25, 30 minutes. So it's a longer one, but a lot of people really enjoy just chilling out, doing Praetorium, and like watching YouTube or Netflix on a second screen. So that's why we have that one in there. People like it. I'm here to please. Finally, I want to talk about what I think is the overall best way to farm this event. And for me, that is gates, and in between gates, anything you can fit. It's probably going to be a little tight to fit front lines, but you might be able to. You probably have roughly 15 minutes between each gate, because like I said, most of them take about 5 minutes to complete. So maybe you can fit a front lines or a hidden gorge in there. You should be able to actually do some of these level 70 trials. These each take about like 7 to 8 minutes, so those are safe bets. The dead ends, if you're going with like a normal party with a healer and stuff through like roulette, it's gonna take a little bit too long. I think it'll probably take about 15 minutes, which will be cutting it close for the next gate. You could try, but it's a little iffy. Same with Castrum Meridianum. If you're doing a normal party, you're not doing a blue mage party, then it's going to be like 15 minutes, cutting it close. But yeah, anything you think you can squeeze in between the gates, I think is a great way to farm. The other overall best goes to PvP, because honestly, Hidden Gorge is really fun, and like I said, you get so much value out of the PvP. And at the end of the day, I think both gates and Hidden Gorge are really fun, and I know a lot of people like to be efficient, and that's great. Like, you don't want to waste your time. That's totally understandable. But at the same time, like, you could have fun with it too, you know? Like, why kind of bash your head against the wall doing the same thing over and over and over again? It doesn't have to be so boring. You can have fun with it doing Hidden Gorge, or we like to call it Rival Wings, or Gates. So that is that. Those are my ideas for the best ways to farm this Moogle treasure trove, the second Hunt for Genesis event. And if you have any ideas about how you'd like to farm, what you think is the best way to farm, then please leave them in the comments below. As always, please consider leaving a sacrifice for Lord Algorithm in the form of a like, comment, share, or subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. Bye!